welcome back to another Thursday episode from our boys at the Buffalo Happy Hour. Today we have kind of like an all-encompassing video of the past year.
The editing that's going to go behind this makes me want to throw up, so I'm just going to leave that all to you because I don't understand how this is functioning, but I guess it's working.
Yeah, it's a good time. So before we dive in, thank you to our sponsor of today's episode, which is Addie's Wine and Spirits. If you guys are in the market for anything liquor or alcohol related, basically go to them because they have everything that you would need in their store. They have whiskey that you can ever even comprehend how much whiskey they have. A ton of wine, liquor, everything that you would possibly need besides beer, obviously. They also have an in-house wine sommelier, too, to help you make some decisions if you're not sure what kind of wine you want, which is pretty unusual in the area.
Absolutely. So I guess sponsored, but we partnered up with them to essentially ensure that we have a way of bringing it back to the community, but then making sure that we're able to keep reviewing things and basically bring it all home.
Absolutely. So if you are interested in helping us out, helping Addie's out, or getting whiskey in general, go download their Addie's app. It's in the Google Play or App Store on your iPhone, and you can then download the app and buy whatever you want from there. So it's a great app. They have everything on there, and they're just good people. So go download their app, Addie's Wine and Spirits, and pick up your alcohol today.
Boom, there it is.
So today we have a interesting episode. It was actually from one of our patrons, which you'll see in future episodes, Mike Filipski. He came out and basically requested us to do a top 5 listing of the whiskeys that we reviewed this past year, which was a fantastic idea. So Mike, thank you very much for this suggestion. And we are now going to be taking that and creating a tier list, which you've probably seen online, basically looking at every single whiskey that we reviewed this past year and rating them on this scale. We have S, A, B, C, D, and F. And then from there, we're going to develop that S tier. And then from that S tier, we'll pull 5 up that we thought were our top 5 of the year. My tasting profile is different than Mike's, so we're going to be doing this separately. And then you can kind of see what we're going to be doing and walking you through some of these. This might be a longer upload, but we also might cut out some of the talking that we do just to make this video go a little bit quicker. So if you do want more explanation as to why we put something somewhere, let us know and we will explain it to you in the comments. So, Michael, how do you want to tackle this thing?
We'll start from the worst.
Okay.
Because picking a best is going to make us stumble.
Correct.
So on my screen, I'm sure people can already see it, I moved Stillhouse to an F. Because for me, that was horrendous, and I am not a fan, so I put it in the F category.
Yeah, I will do the same. It was absolutely terrible. The packaging made it feel like you were drinking out of an oil canister, which I did not like, and this flavor was just too syrupy for me. That's going directly to an F.
The only other one that is an F, we are rather spoiled, so it's going to be
I would
difficult.
probably say another F would be Kokori. I didn't really enjoy that rice whiskey at all. That was not a fan of mine.
What about this? What's this one again? That was the...
Ellicottville Rye. That's going into the F too.
Yeah, it was the Ellicottville, but the picture's kind of grainy. Yeah. That's why I had to ask.
Well, because I can't find it anywhere, and everything that I searched it on Google, it just came off our review, destroying it. So that's going into that F. And then for me personally, I didn't enjoy the Kokori rice, so I'm going to move that one up there as well. If you do
that's what that one is?
Yeah, if you do want a list of everything that we've reviewed, you can go to our link tree in the bio of our Instagram or our Facebook, and you can pull up our Wednesday whiskey reviews. We have a whole list that goes through every single whiskey that we've reviewed, including their nose, initial taste, label branding, and ending note, including the price too associated with them. So if you want to go through some of those with us, you definitely can, and then we'll also put a link to this out there so you can make your own listing and send it to us or tag us on social media.
There it is.
All right. So anything else on your end that you would put in this F category? What about, not for me, but for you, I'm thinking Ardbeg Wee Beastie. I'm probably going to put that into a C, but would you put that into an F because you weren't a huge fan of that?
No, not at all.
Really?
Yeah, dude, it's a good scotch. It's just super peaty. Obviously, It's one of the most peaties in the world. It's not an F for me, but it's a D.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously we'll go back and check this out if we have any. Oh, the other one, Bren Brand whiskey. That was atrocious. That French one, that was bubblegum.
Dude, you like that.
No, I did not. Are you kidding me?
It's this one?
Yeah, it was terrible. It tasted just like Yubba Bubba bubblegum or whatever it was.
Yeah, if a country lost a war or retreats in war, then they're getting an F for me. So, yeah, Kokori and Bren can just chill down there.
Well, we got some other Japanese whiskeys, actually. That's a good segue to those.
And be a foundation.
So,
yeah.
Kamiki, that's this one right here. I enjoyed this one.
That was the one that we actually liked, right?
Yeah, because this was made in cedar casks, which I thought was super interesting. I'm going to put this up to a C as well.
It's a D for me.
I liked the intricacies of that. I liked not being able to, or I liked the opportunity of having something that wasn't aged in oak. It just was super cool to me. It was very interesting, and I just loved the way that it tasted. Maybe a D. Maybe I'll move that one down to a D because I think I'm just putting it up because of the fact that it was cedar.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't bad.
This is really good, though. It's peaty, too.
Mm-hmm. All right, so what else do we have on here?
Mm-hmm.
The first, since we got the F's out of the way, let's go in order now, so we can talk through these. 287 whiskey. That was the one where we just reviewed. It was a single malt, and they worked with a brewery to kind of meld the two together.
It's a D to F for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember you and I talked about the fact that it was interesting, but definitely not an everyday sipper.
Not at all.
And for the price, I probably wouldn't pay more and drink it on a pretty consistent cadence.
Yeah, not at all.
Okay, so that one's going to a D. The next one is Abelauer 12-year.
Oh, that's what that is?
Yeah. Abelauer 12-year, and then right next to it is Abelauer Abunad. We did both of those, remember? One of them was aged in sherry.
We drink a lot, yeah. And any sherry cask finish, I'm like obsessed with.
Yeah. So Abelauer 12, I'm going to put in the S category. I really liked Abelauer. Abelauer also, that distillery makes Belvini, like the parent company is the same.
Yes.
And I love everything that they put out.
I agree.
Abelauer sherry, I'm probably going to put in the A category. I loved it. You can put it wherever you want.
No. The first one, the 12 I put down, and then the sherry I cut up in S.
Yeah, I like the traditional Scotch tasting notes. You prefer that extreme fun of the sherry.
Yes, I like the sherry.
Yeah.
The next one is Belvini 14 Caribbean cask, and that's an S for me. Not even a question.
Absolutely.
That was the fastest decision I had to make. Our next is 116 aged 4-year Buffalo Happy Hour whiskey. That's an S.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. Then we have St. Lawrence, and it's the Captain's Flask.
This one is...
Right? Because it's the blue?
Yep, Captain's Flask. There is also Icebreaker down here.
Yep.
We actually reviewed 4 different...
Yeah, I was going to say...
5 different.
Rhinot in there, too?
Yeah. And...
We basically did their lineup.
Yeah, and the Admiral's Flask. So we have 4 of them in here.
Yeah. So Captain's Flask is actually what turned us on to them. I mean, the price point's perfect, but for me, it's not a superior.
Correct.
I'm probably going to put this in the B.
I actually really like that call. I'm going to put it in the B too. Their other product was so delicious that, to me, like you said, it was the perfect gateway to this. But once you tried, like, their Admiral's Flask, you're like, dude,
right,
this is so good.
Yeah, it rocks its socks off.
Yeah.
The next is Clonakilty, and the Clonakilty pictured because we had a couple.
Yeah, so this Clonakilty is the Addie's one that we reviewed.
Oh, the Addie's
which is the
barrel.
one aged in the Armagnac casks.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, dude, this one was so good. I'm gonna go S again for this one.
Ooh.
I love Clonakilty.
How many S's can we have?
As many as we want, because remember, we're gonna pull 5 up to the top 5.
Well, right, but there's a lot of good options, man.
Oh yeah,
I'm trying to be like real, specific about what's realistic.
Yeah. Well, those are realistic for me, bro.
I know they're realistic. I'm just gonna go away. It's fine. Clyde Maze.
Clyde Maze was sweet. But I remember specifically with this one, you and I were left hanging with the ending note. We wanted a little bit more of like an apple pie, and we got more of like an apple wood.
I'm gonna go C. Clyde Maze also has a cast strength.
Yeah.
And I'm
gonna go D on that. You did have it?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
A guy we know.
Thanks for the invite.
Who's got a
dude.
ridiculous collection. Yeah. Actually had it on a shelf.
Oh, really?
Like, I'm gonna pour myself this. Thanks.
Nice.
And it's super good. So if you could find it, yeah,
we'll have it on the show.
Yes. The next one is Cooperstown.
Yeah, Cooperstown for me is a cool story. It's a cool bottle. It's like you can change that into a decanter if you really wanted to, but I didn't really find the whiskey to be anything to write home about, so I'm going to put this in the C.
Ooh, I went D with it.
Oh, good for you. Next, we have Devil's River. So this is going to be tough to differentiate between S and A for me because I love their products. I personally think that the Devil's River Distiller Select was lower on my ranking than the
one signed to us.
single barrel. Yeah.
The single barrel I specifically asked you to bring to my wedding, so that's how I feel about it. I agree with you. The Distiller Select is an A, and then the single barrel is a S for superior.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. Elijah Craig. Which one? What is that?
This
rye?
is Elijah Craig rye, that we had.
Just had some of that last night before bed.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on it?
I love it. It's great, and it's 94 proof. For me, I'm going to put it in the B category because it's like an everyday sipper. I don't feel bad buying it. And then it doesn't necessarily just make me, go rant and rave to my neighbors about how good it is. So I'm going to keep it there.
I'm going to throw it in C. I think that for me, there's a lot of other great rye options out there that I would probably gravitate towards this one the least from the ryes that we reviewed. So the next one is Evan Williams Single Barrel. This one was the first whiskey we reviewed in 2021.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. C?
I don't even remember this one, though, to be honest with you. I mean, if you don't remember it, then it's probably a D. If you don't even remember it. That's how much of an impression it made on me.
Fighting 69th.
Yeah, this one was good.
Watch your words.
And we didn't do a ton of...
Someone will literally drive to Buffalo and fight you.
It's not going to impact my rating. We're honest here. It was good, and we didn't do a lot of Irish whiskeys here outside of Clonakilty. I'm going to throw this in B. I think it was a very delicious product. I love the story behind it, but it didn't elevate itself to that A level with Abel Hour Sherry or Devil's River Distiller Select, for me, personally.
From a okay, so I have to...
Yeah, now you be careful.
Relax, mega fan. But yeah, it's... First of all, by us, it's extremely difficult to find. This is something that's almost in every liquor store downstate, but also that's where the 69th is. So in that, is it something that you should have in your bar? Yeah, absolutely. Is it something that I would specifically go out and buy? No, not really. The only reason I would make it a point of at least having it on my shelf is because it's the 69th, and they're obviously holding a special place in my heart, but even from a tasting profile, it's not necessarily like, damn, that's good. Like it is if you try a Hartman's or something like that. So for me, I'm going to go C, but it's not because of the unit. It's just because it's...
Ooh, a C. You even went lower than me. Sean, get him. Do it.
Wasn't going to drop names, but it's fine because he'll literally make a comment anyways.
Yeah, his comment has his name on it, so and he comments on every video. So next is Glenfiddich 14. This is their Scotch aged in ex-bourbon barrels.
How can you see that?
Because I was the one that uploaded these images.
Okay, so this is Glenlivet 14, you said?
Glenfiddich 14.
Glenfiddich 14.
Remember, it was the blue bottle, the big blue canister. We reviewed this in your basement.
Yeah.
We like this one a lot.
I like it a lot. It's a B for me.
Yeah, I'll go B2. There's other scotches that I like more than that.
Yes.
And what we're going to do actually is we're going to change, we'll talk about it later, but we're going to change top 5 to top 2 or 3. Top 5 is a lot, especially because we already have 5 in there. So we'll change it. We'll make it even more exclusive. All right, next is Glenlivet 12. To me, this was a great introductory scotch, but it lost a little bit on me. We had it the other night at my house.
Yeah.
And it was very good. It's a very good gateway scotch. But now that I'm into the more peaty things, that seems too sweet for me. So I'm going to bring this down to a C.
It's a B for me.
Yeah.
Hartman's single barrel. This is barrel strength.
Yeah, barrel strength.
A.
Yeah. Why?
I love it.
Perfect.
I love it a lot.
Very astute analysis, Michael. What else do you like about it?
I like the proof point. I like the tasting profile on it. I like the fact that it's a sipper. I like its exclusivity. There's a way to say that. For me, it's an A.
Okay. I am moving it to a B. I like their barrel strength a lot, but I like their rye a little bit better than their barrel strength. And to me, their rye is an A, so their barrel strength has to be like a lower end A, higher end B, but for the sake of this, I'm going to put it in the B.
Their rye's not in our list because we reviewed it beforehand, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next is High West Campfire.
C.
Yeah, you weren't a huge fan of this one.
D.
I'm going to throw this in the C category. This was the interesting High West that blended basically bourbon, rye, and scotch together. So it had that really kind of cool note of like the scotch integration with the bourbon, but it still wasn't. It was a cool bourbon to try, but nothing to have on hand all the time. So I'm going to put it at C.
Right. Hillbilly
Rye is a D for me. I was
agree
not
with
a
you.
fan of this one. It was too grainy. It was too old tasting. It just wasn't on my list to ever buy again. Sorry, guys.
Hudson Whiskey, is this the single barrel that was done?
So Hudson's, this is the regular barrel small batch bourbon. The one next to it is a single barrel. That was Addie's. That was aged in the wine casks.
That one was better for me.
Hudson Valley was great. The single barrel Addie's. That's going to go to B for me.
Yeah, it's a B for me, and then the other's a C.
Yeah, the other, we're going to probably go B or D. I was not a fan of their regular baby bourbon. I thought that it lacked that punch that the Addie single barrel brought to it. Mm-hmm. So I put that in a D. Jefferson's Reserve Small Batch.
Yeah, this was bomb, dude. And this also didn't last in my house literally at all.
Yeah.
So this was right before I started to like tone it down because I couldn't stop drinking this bottle. And I'm like, oh, goodness gracious. So for me, it's an A.
Yeah. I'm going to put this as a B.
No, B's a better call.
Yeah. I just remember how much I loved the Jefferson's Ocean. And to me, that was far superior. And I would love to see what their barrel strength is because this is just their small batch.
Right.
Yeah. So that's going to go B for me.
Mellow Corn's a D.
Mellow Corn.
You're so weird about liking this more than what it is.
Like, it was such a weird, interesting taste. And it was like $1. Basically, it's free.
Yeah.
If you can find a liquor store, they're like, just take it off of our shelf. Nobody likes this. But it was interesting because you don't really see too many true corn whiskeys out there. I know that whiskey all has corn in it, but this is 100% corn. Like, this was a very, very interesting whiskey. So to me, it's kind of...
Whatever helps you sleep, dude. Yeah. It's a D for me, dog. Yeah, and then...
it's a no for me, dog.
What's this one?
This one is the M&H Israeli Single Malt.
This was good, but it didn't necessarily... I mean, it's a C for me.
To me, I'm going up to A.
Whoa,
yeah,
buddy.
I like this one a lot. It mirrored a lot of the oak and Toshin flavors that I really enjoy in my scotch. The non-peatiness, but the single malt taste. I loved this one, and I was so happy that it was a good product coming out of Israel because I wanted to like it. This next one is Old Forester 1897.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the one that they labeled after the Bottled and Bond Act. This is a Bottled and Bond product.
It was really good. You bought this for me as a gift?
It was very good. It was very old, dusty, woody, deep oak, traditional Kentucky bourbon, but with that like grandfather note.
Yeah, it was a sipper, without a doubt. For me, this is a B.
Yeah, I'm gonna go B with this as well. It was close to an A, just because like I feel like I have to include a traditional Kentucky bourbon in an A category, but this one was just like just a little bit more would have been great.
Right.
The next one is Old Tub. This was Jim Beam's product that basically first started making out of a bathtub. I was not a fan of this. I'm going to put this in the D category.
I'm with you on that. But I drank the rest of the bottle, so go me.
Yeah.
This is your boy, so you're probably just going to go straight to the top for it. For me, I'm going to go... I'm in between a B and a C on this.
Yeah, I'm going to go A. So this is Cessnock Whiskey. This is the whiskey that was made in partnership with the actor who plays in Outlander. It's a blended scotch. It's very good, in my opinion. But since it's blended, it didn't like really punch you with a certain characteristic, which is why I'm not going with S, but I still enjoyed it. So it's going A for me.
Okay.
All right, St. Lawrence. This is the Admiral's Flask Cab Sauv, bro.
My wife's obsessed with this.
Well, she's not making this list.
She's specifically, my wife's within my top one. She specifically went out of her way to make sure that we had another bottle of this in the house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she likes this one a lot. I agree with her. It is really good. For me, it's a B. Disregard. Going to an A.
Yeah, I'm going to keep this at
Icebreaker for me is a B. The last time I had it, I had too much, and then...
Hold on, bro. I'm still on Cab Sauv. I still got to figure out which one I want.
Hurry up, make a decision.
Maybe B. All right, I'll go B.
Boom.
Icebreaker.
Icebreaker for me is a B. Last time I had it, I had a little too much, and I watered the grass. So there's that.
Jesus Christ. This was your Distiller Select Icebreaker, or was that Captain's? Icebreaker was their barrel proof, right?
Yeah, it's the hottest one. It was like 128.
I think I like that.
120 plus.
I think I like that the most out of their products. So I'm going to move that up to an A. Because the next one here is their Rye Knot.
You love their rye.
I love their Rye Knot, but it is very sweet for a rye.
I agree. I'm going C for it,
I'm going to
though.
go B for this.
What's this loser?
This is Centauri Toki. This is the one that I had the other day again. Yeah, I'll go C. I didn't mind it. I thought it was pretty good. It's no longer considered a Japanese whiskey, so maybe I'll move it down to a D.
There you go. There you go.
All right, then we got some hot ones coming out here in the last couple 6 here. So if you're enjoying this type of content, let us know, because this is something that we're planning on doing is the last Thursday upload for every year to kind of round out and recap our whole year of what whiskey we reviewed, how much of an alcoholic we actually are, and to provide you guys with some ideas of how the whiskey compares as the year goes on. When we do these Wednesday whiskey reviews, it's kind of a point-in-time reaction when we rate it. But then after we rate it, we're like, does it really compare to last week's? What about next week? So this is a good a way of you guys to see how it actually compares at the end of the year when we reflect. So if you like this type of video, let us know in the comments below. Please leave a like on this video and also subscribe so you're always notified whenever we post new videos. All right, so now rounding out this last discussion, we have Three Chords Strange Collaboration.
That's an A for me, dog.
Yeah, absolutely. Why?
Strange Collaboration is just, in my opinion, their best product outside of the one that they made for us. It is so good. It fits a lot of wine drinkers' palates as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfectly priced. It's available. And it makes me warm and fuzzy inside. So it's an A for me.
What else do you need? A for me as well.
Yep. Next
Next one is Three Chord Whiskey Drummer.
You can't find this anymore. They're like out of it.
Really?
Yep. So
I'm probably going to go A again with, maybe I'll go S with this one. I really did like this. It's a little bit out of my price range. So
it's $190 a bottle.
That's why I'm not, I was kind of hesitant to put it in the S, but the taste is so good that you can't not.
It's an A for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
The next one here is Wheelhorse Rye Whiskey. This one was, when we reviewed this one, this was the same day as what? The Hillbilly Rye.
Yeah. And
I like this slightly better. I'm going to go C for this.
I also went C. It's
Attaboy.
a wonderful rye for cocktails as well. It's also perfectly priced. It's like $30 a bottle.
Yeah, so
30
this
to 35 at most.
This next one here is my favorite rye that we reviewed this past year, Whistle Pig.
Without
Piggyback.
a doubt, yeah.
This one is going up for an A for me, no doubt. I really enjoyed it, and the only reason that I'm not putting this as an A is because I know how amazing their other products are, and they specifically created this to get into the market of people, the poor people like us, and their other products are so much better that I can't put this as an S because I know their other products deserve to go there.
Mm-hmm.
Wyoming Whiskey Small Batch. This is, to me, on that same level as Woodinville, where you can buy this super cheap, it can go in a decanter, and you can just sip this all day long. I love this one.
I like Woodinville more than that, though.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm going to go...
A for this one with this Easy Sipper.
It's a C for me because I would go Woodinville over it.
Yeah. And then the last one here, ending on kind of a weird note, Yankee Distiller Single Malt.
You can't even find that anymore.
Maybe this one is an F.
It's a D because it is good. It's not horrendous.
I don't think that we liked it.
You just can't find them.
Yeah. I also didn't really like it very much.
Well, then go F.
All right, I did.
All right. You want me to stop recording?
No. So
Okay.
what we're going to do now...
Oh, that's right. Now we got to drag them up.
We're going to change top 5. How many do you have in your top? 4?
How did you do that?
Just click there.
Here?
Yeah. I'm going to change this to top 2. Let's bring our top 2 up. I have 6 up in my S tier, and you have 4. So let's start with me. I'll bring up my first one. I'll kind of explain what's going on here, and then you can do the same. To me, my favorite whiskey in the entire world is Belvini Caribbean Cask. The flavors in here are just so unmatched with anything else I've ever tasted, with that amazing Belvini product mixed with the Caribbean cask. This is my all-time favorite scotch. I always have it in the house. It is just something that you need to have every single time, in my opinion, even if it's on the menu when I go out somewhere. So that's my first one in my top 2 category.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, it's our favorite scotch. We've said it multiple times.
Yeah. All right, so my second one here. I have Abelauer 12, our Buffalo Happy Hour whiskey, Clonakilty Armagnac, Devil's River Single Barrel, and 3 Chord Whiskey Drummer. This is tough. What are you thinking? You have less options than me. What are you thinking there?
So I already have a scotch in my top 2, and then it comes down to a Devil's River Single Barrel or my own Single Barrel. And here is my thoughts on that. I made my decision. And it's taking emotion out of it, and it's being realistic. In regards to what we made, I love the finish on ours more than Devil's River. And in regards to a proof point, the Devil's River is 128, ours is 116. Ours is a little fuller, theirs is hotter. Mm-hmm. So when we cut the heat out of our whiskey and then brought in the toasted barrel, it adds an element of butter to it that the Devil's River is lacking. And the Devil's River is more heat, it's more ethanol.
And it's more like raw oak.
Way more raw oak. From a tasting standpoint, ours tastes better. And for that reason, I'm moving it into the top 2. When you get married, we're bringing both.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just how it is, because they're on par with each other. It's just from an overall tasting standpoint alone, I have to go with the one that we made just because it's got the cognac finish with the toasted barrel on the end. And it's just fantastic of a blend. And Devil's River is just the and not to downgrade it, but that's what it is. It's a single barrel that, it's a bourbon, and it's incredible, but that's what you're going to get.
And this is 42 whiskeys that we reviewed this whole year, so this decision is very tough. And I was really thinking about not including our Buffalo Happy Hour one in this list in general, because people would think that we're not being realistic when we talk about it. Even though we are, you and I are trying to be as honest as possible. I mean, the rating itself was honest. Mm-hmm. But with that, and you just describing it, just remembered how good that is compared to everything else. So I'm going to do the same. Buffalo Happy Hour Single Barrel is coming up top. Next year will be different because we might have more than one Buffalo Happy Hour whiskey that then we have to decide between those for the top 2. That'll be tough. Woo! So everybody, thank you very much for joining today's episode. These are our ratings of everything that we reviewed this past year. So if you enjoyed this type of content, again, please subscribe to the channel. It helps us a lot. Please like the video. It helps us with the YouTube algorithms. Go follow our Instagram at the official Buffalo Happy Hour, our Facebook at Buffalo Happy Hour. We have some cool things in the works coming for you for the next year. We have a ton of other products, including rums, cream liqueurs. Don't even know what that is, but different products, probably more beer, but also a ton more whiskey that we're going to be doing the same episode going into the 2024 year.
There
2023 year.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So thank you, everybody. If you are going to buy any of these bottles or you do want to try out anything in our list, you can always download the Addies app and check out to see if they have it. If not, you can always ask them to see if they can get it in, because they are those type of people. But if you are going to drink any of these, please remember to always drink responsibly, be a good person. And Michael,
do not litter.
We're out.